Good afternoon, Sierra Vista. On the field with Jarad and Jon. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Beautiful fall weather is in the air, Jon.
Yeah, fall weather. This nice, 85 degrees? I love the fall.
We'll call that Arizona fall. Sure.
Dang, it's paradise, I'm telling you.
Nice,
that,
man. Perfect. Just way to be out there, and I'm sure a lot of people are out having fun at the park with the Festival of the Southwest. And last night we had a huge night, youth night at Buena High School, where Tucson made the trip from downtown Tucson, and they showed up to play, and our Colts were a little bit periodically in this battle, but they couldn't put four quarters together. Yeah. So unfortunately, suffered their first loss last night.
So as a show, we cover Cochise County sports with updates on Buena Colts, and we do like the local sports teams, and then we'll do college and then NFL after that. And last night we had a home game, like you were saying, yep. Tucson versus Buena, and it was a stark reminder that you have to come in super prepared no matter who it is, you know.
Oh, of course. Yes.
It was a lot of fun to watch, but it was hard at the end. Like, everybody was kind of trying to get out of there early, and I totally feel that. But, man, a lot of those students stuck around to the very end, even though it was a little bit painful.
True.
What were some of the highlights?
So, you know, we had some solid we always have explosive plays. There's no question about that. We're always going to have those with JT Thomas and Scrappy, yep. and Michael Lujan, and you know, there were some bursts throughout the offense, but it was sporadic. It wasn't consistent. It was, and I wrote it down here. A lot of what was happening as a former coach, seeing Tucson coming out of the gate with a 5-2. Then they switched to a 5-3, maybe 3 plays later. Then they went to a 4-4 when we spread them out. And if we put one receiver in the slot, they'd go to a 4-3. They'd go back to a 4-4. In 5-2, they fluctuated their defenses so much. I think what happened is our offensive line had so much adjustments they had to make to their blocks.
Oh man!
And it was hard.
Well, I honestly think that the Tucson defensive line, that was a very, very strong defensive line. They had a Hulk out there, number 70. I have no idea what his name was, but giant kid.
Big kid. Defensive end.
Yeah. And offensive tackle.
Super athletic.
Yep, he had great horizontal ability. He was a lot of fun to watch. You know, I don't remember a ton about their game as much as, like, I remember how Buena went down, but Tucson played like this ground and pound game and just beat Buena at their own game, it felt like.
Yeah, they came out with a run game attitude, and they're big up front, but they're slow. However, the slow doesn't always mean anything bad. You know, as long as the hole's open, and if that running back is small like those guys were last night, they were just spitting right through those holes and be able to get those big gains, and they you know, were capitalizing on some weaknesses that and some tendencies that Buena were showing. So unfortunately they lost by 13, and you know, a first loss of the season maybe is a good wake up to, you know, early on enough in the season to where it's like, okay guys, we need to, you know, come up with a different game plan. Of course, you have to make your adjustments and where you need to see things, and keep pushing to, you know, reach your goals, still make the playoffs, and you know, just settle down, play Buena football, have some balance in the offense on both sides. You know, run and pass.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. When you've got such a dominant running game the way Buena does, sometimes it's really hard to get your pass going if that running game isn't there, and they just couldn't get anything moving. And so they, with a 4, and like you were saying, they kept rotating the defense. It was a really they kept changing it. It was like a counterpunch. They kept counterpunching us, and it was like they knew what was going to happen before the play started. It was unexpected, but you know, Buena could have won that game.
They were right in it. They kept battling. They didn't stop. They didn't fold. They didn't, just, oh well, it's over with. Might as well just ride the clock out or whatever.
Yeah.
They kept battling. I mean, and then they had the feeling that they could do something, and but just came up a little short. So, we're looking forward to seeing what Coach Thomas can do and having them prepared for next week at Pueblo. And the Warriors are big. From what I was talking to some people last night around the league and around the area, and some other people that have seen them already. Mm-hmm. They are big kids. They have a new coaching staff. The coaching staff's really big on. He reminds me a lot of Coach Thomas. He's really big on family. He's really big on that relationship with the players, and he's doing a lot to build that camaraderie and that brotherhood of what it takes to be, put a thing, the whole thing together and see the whole big picture, and see those kids grow the way they need to grow. And so we're looking forward to another battle down in South Tucson next Friday with the Warriors. We had them at home last year, and I want to say it was pretty lopsided.
Wow.
So we'll have to see. If we come back out on top of this, I want to see the run game still established. I still believe in having the two best running backs in the state.
I agree
by far.
That Buena, they're not getting. They got stopped in this case, and they do have the best two running backs. It's just a situation where they'll adjust in the next game.
True.
So, like we said, on to the next game. So, Benson versus Tombstone. Did you see that one?
I didn't see any highlights or see any scores.
The
what
score
was the
is
final?
Yeah, 14-12. Holy smokes! Yeah, Benson over Tombstone. So that looked like we'll have to go check out maybe a replay of that game if possible.
Exactly. Goodness.
Yeah, if you want to support Cool FM and you want that game to be covered, you let Todd know, and he'll try and put a team together, and we'll get that done. So if you've got a team you want to watch, let us know. Willcox 65, Santa Rita 12. That's, I don't even know if
it still shocks me to this day, John, to see that the school Santa Rita in the 2A section, because when I was a senior, they were 5A with us at Buena.
Whoa!
And that's gosh. We're talking 26 years now, but they were a 5A program at one point. And so just to see that this school just continues to, they lose so much over on that east side because there's so many schools. There's Micah Mountain, there's Empire, there's the Vale district has exploded. Mm-hmm. Some of the other kids go to Saguaro or Sabino, and they transfer to these other schools, and there's not much there for Santa Rita to put together. So, but kudos to Willcox. They needed a big, solid win as a regroup. They've had some close games in the last few weeks. So seeing them come out on top is a good thing. Next one.
Ironwood Ridge-35, Douglas 9. I thought Douglas was a stronger team than that.
Well, we saw Ironwood last week.
Yeah, that's a good point.
2 weeks ago,
Ironwood
excuse me.
Is tough,
2 weeks ago.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was not a weak team at all.
Yeah, they're solid, and Douglas is a smaller 4A program, 3A 4A program, so they're trying to do what they can down in that area, and Hunter's got something to build there, and he's trying to get some things going, but I just feel that he'll put 4 quarters together for sure soon, and those kids will get it, and they'll finally figure, get that taste of a win, and get hungry for it much more each week.
All right, next game, Bisbee 26, Catalina 0. Man, Bisbee's defense looked like it's honing in right now.
Yeah, for sure. So the Trojans, another program that has been depleted within the downtown area of Tucson in the last few years, and so I would say the Catalina is a program that is almost hanging on. I don't want to say that, but they're hanging on without going to a 1A size school, they won't because of the enrollment. So they just need to compete a little bit better, but Bisbee to bounce back and and see them shut out some team is a good thing. It'll help you defensively.
Love seeing Bisbee win out here. They look strong for sure. Valley Union versus San Manuel. Valley Union 20, San Manuel 12.
So if I see this right, if San Manuel's on top, that means that, or if San Manuel's on the top, so that means Valley Union traveled to them. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's a pretty good trek. San Manuel's north of Tucson, mm-hmm. and so that's a good little trek for them to drive all the way from Elfrida to get up there. But Valley Union's put together they're 8-man program now, so they're I think they're 3-1 coming into this now, so they're going to be I don't know if St. David's played them yet, but that's going to be a game coming up here soon. Something to look at for a Cochise County game of the week or something, because we'll have to see what they can do.
So for more in-depth analysis for all Cochise County sports, tune in to the Cochise County Sports Show here on Cool FM with Paul and Dave every Tuesday, brought to you by Synergy Home Healthcare. Go say hi to those guys. Tell them we told you to say hi. Maybe wave at them for us.
Yeah.
So let's get into college football right now. So Washington's going to be playing Northwestern later tonight, so we're expecting Washington to win by a bunch. Eastern Washington, my school, getting the beat down 42-16 from Nevada. Yeah, not good.
UNR, huh? Nevada Reno.
Yeah. Notre Dame beating up on Miami of Ohio 21-3. USC, I know.
We got an upset right here coming with Memphis after they upset Florida State last week.
Well, also USC and Michigan, too.
Navy's sitting there with an 8-point lead. So
5-point lead.
5 points.
Yeah, Navy's up 35-30 on Memphis right now. Michigan has the lead. They're number 18. So they have a 14-10 lead over USC, the number 11 ranked team. So that's an upset alert that we got to keep an eye on. Auburn, Arkansas, that should be a really good game. Penn State and Kent State.
LSU and UCLA knotted up at 17.
Yeah, that's...
Now I was talking to my uncle on the way back, headed into town, and they were watching the kickoff of that game. At kickoff, LSU, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 97 degrees.
And
exactly.
And you're just like, there's probably bugs sticking in your skin.
You could take your finger and cut the humidity with your finger in the air. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
So humid. So
Buffalo versus Northern Illinois. So Buffalo always has that great defensive line. Northern Illinois, though, still they're ranked number 23. And Kentucky. That was the other team that I thought was going to look really good this year. And oh my gosh, they got really good this year. We'll get down to them in a second. Louisville versus Georgia Tech. It's all tied up, 17-17. Arizona State versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech 24, Arizona State 10. Not good.
Finally, they met a decent match in the Big 12. The Red Raiders are doing some damage.
I think that they can win that game.
They'll be in Tucson in a couple weeks. I think I'm going to head up to that game and watch them play. Watch the Red Raiders come into Tucson and play the Wildcats. It'll be a good one.
Utah versus Oklahoma State. Utah ranked number 12 with a 10-3 lead over Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Utah's got that 30-year-old quarterback in Cam Rising. He's on his 9th year as an eligible player, I think.
Man, those Utah kids, I love it.
Kidding.
He's got a family of 7.
He's coming in injured, though. He has 2 injured fingers on his throwing hand, so it's probably why it's such a 10-3 game already. But Utah's got one of the most physical football teams in college football.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that's one thing that's always been good about Willingham. He's a ground and pound, old fashioned guy, and Oklahoma State's starting to get back to that with their run game.
That's Tyrone Willingham, right?
So no, that's Winningham.
Winningham, I'm sorry.
Todd or whatever his name is. He's been there since I think Urban left.
Oh wow!
So he's got a good little program going. And
he's been hanging in there. Yeah, Utah's been ranked very well every year.
Well, he went to the Pac-12 title, last Pac-12 title last year.
Vanderbilt has the lead over Missouri, who's ranked number 7. So Vanderbilt not ranked at all, leading over 13-10 over Missouri.
Yeah, that's that
number
strong
7.
defense we've always been talking about at Missouri, and
and
giving away 13 points. That's like 40 to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's a ton of
So
points.
we'll have to see if they can bounce back and get that one.
TCU, SMU playing 17-7 right now in the second quarter, at the beginning of the second quarter. Later on, Miami versus Southern Florida. That could be a good game. Toledo, Western Kentucky. That's got a really tight point spread.
Go Hilltoppers. Go Coach Keel. Happy birthday, by the way.
Tennessee, Oklahoma. So that's on later tonight. Yeah, that's
Boomer.
6 versus number 15.
That might be an upset.
Yeah, Bowling Green versus Texas.
Going into Lawton. Or excuse me, is it Lawton? Wherever Oklahoma plays their games, they're going to be rocking and rolling with those Volunteers. Sure. It's going to be a good game.
So, Georgia Southern is kind of an underrated team I've seen. They actually have a pretty decent team. I don't expect them to beat Ole Miss, ranked number 5, but if there's something crazy happening, it always seems to happen to like Ole Miss or like Baylor or something like that.
Sure.
Texas ranked number 1, and you saw who was starting that game, right?
Arch.
Yeah.
Second game in a row.
Yeah. I thought this was his first start, but he played that last game. Oh my gosh, that young man, did he have like a 60-something yard run?
68.
And then he had 3 touchdowns all in like 2 minutes. It was crazy. He is such a talented guy.
I'm going to go ahead and call an upset tonight.
What's that?
Up in Provo.
BYU versus Kansas State? Yeah.
Yes, sir. They might smack Kansas State in the mouth.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's hard to play at Provo in the nighttime. It gets colder up there already.
Clemson versus North Carolina State. Clemson won. That was 59-35.
Hey, Dabo. Got some offense going again, finally.
Ohio State put up 49 on Marshall's 14.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey's not going to be too happy about that one. One of the best football movies ever, We Are Marshall.
And Washington State. They beat Washington last week.
Hey,
and then
the Apple Cup winners.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hated that so much.
It was a good game.
It was a good game, but watching the end of that, like, it's really frustrating when you see your team just hand that ball, the game away. Nebraska versus Illinois. That one went to overtime. And
that was an upset, wasn't it?
Yeah. Illinois beat Nebraska 31-24 in overtime. Washington State beat San Jose State 54-52 in double overtime. So
beat them by a layup.
Yeah.
2-point conversion in this game, but still.
Yeah, and so let's see if there's anything going on. So next week should be a real big week. But Louisville, Notre Dame. But we'll just stick with this week right now. Yeah, a couple.
Saw something.
Northern Illinois versus North Carolina State.
That's going to be.
That's my Super Bowl.
There's another huge one right here. SEC battle.
Ole Miss versus Kentucky. You're picking out all my underdogs. Those are all my sleeper teams. So it's Kentucky, Northern Illinois, and North Carolina State. Those are my 3 offenses to watch, and 2 of them are playing each other next week. So it's my Super Bowl. All right, so let's move on to the NFL. Man, last week was a real killer. I did not do that well. I did pick the Chiefs. The Buccaneers, your Buccaneers, played amazing ball.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, so the Chiefs versus the Bengals, that came down to the last second on a field goal. And then the Seahawks beat the Patriots in overtime. Seahawks looking good this year, man.
They are. They're surprising me.
I tell people all the time, Geno Smith has the best deep ball in the NFL. Like, I'm not saying that he throws it the furthest, but he's the most accurate deep ball. Like, him and Aaron Rodgers, I should probably say that. Aaron Rodgers had a great game. It looks like he's kind of coming back. Looks like he knows how to play
football. He does
football.
have a little bit more his charisma that he's had on the field before, so
it's good to see him playing good football.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so this week So we already saw the Jets beat the Patriots 24-3. That was just Aaron Rodgers just playing lights out ball, and their defense was sticking it to them. So what do we project for the Miami Dolphins versus Seattle? Who do you think is going to take that one?
I'll take Seattle on that one right now because you lost your main offensive
no
anchor.
Quarterback. Quarterback in Miami, man.
Yeah. Chris Thompson's going to have to come out and be a great secondary.
Can they do it?
Tough guy. Hey, what's happening, April?
Well, thank you,
Thanks
April.
for Kraus. Appreciate you coming on. And everybody else that's watching, make sure you guys, if you want to have some players come on the show from anywhere in the Sierra Vista area, we'll have some kids in from ALA. We'll have some kids in from Buena. We'll do Buena right now. This next week. Hopefully after our game, we can have a Buena kid.
I got to visit ALA this week.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I went over there and met with the coach on Cool FM. So if you want to see that interview, Jeff Davenport does that interview. Really good interview.
Coach Kraus has got some good things going. Those guys played a very exciting game on Thursday.
And if the players look anything like the coaches in the future, did you see how big those coaches are? They're all like XXX shirts, and they are ripped dudes. These are not like it's not like a
John did make it to the NFL.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
No.
Oh, he's a huge dude.
He made it for a little brief stint, but he made it. He free agency, but still.
Oh, dude, that
man
works.
played good college ball in Ohio, so he played some good old fashioned smash mouth ball, and
he had the chance to go to Harvard. He was like, our coach told us if we want to if you want to see that,
check out that interview. It'll be good. Good stuff there.
Chiefs versus Falcons.
Kirk had a heck of a comeback against some Eagles. I don't know. That's going to be woo.
So this is the thing. I just always pick the Chiefs. You'll see that. But I also believe that the Chiefs give up a ton of regular season games because they don't care about the regular season. They care about being healthy, and they want to get to 12 wins. That's what they want. And if they can win the AFC West, then they put in a little extra juice at the very end. But like if they aren't, they pull Travis Kelce or whoever.
I hear you, Ryan. I'm tired of hearing all this Chiefs stuff, too.
Oh, dude.
Just Ryan. Kidding. Hey, have a great time at the reunion tonight, buddy. Class of 2004, 20-year reunion. I coached all these guys. I'm like,
kidding.
Yeah, Coach Young feels very young. Gosh, makes me feel so old.
Thank you,
anyway.
Mr. Ryan Russell. Denver Broncos versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who do you think is going to take this one?
We got to rattle in the cage of Bo Nix, get in his face a lot on defense, get him rattled, get his receivers on, off their routes, and if Vita's okay to get back up, to where he's supposed to be. He's got a little MCL sprain he's dealing with, our big D tackle.
Yeah.
Our guys are playing at lights out. We're playing with second, some third string DBs right now.
Yeah.
And we're playing, and we beat the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, to see Tampa playing the way they are right now, Baker is the man. Baker's going to be the franchise guy for the next 2 to 3, 4 years.
You're looking at a lot of like former number one picks or
Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, well, Baker's looking good. Geno Smith is looking good. I mean, you can go. Who else is a back? And the Steelers. Actually, I think Russell Wilson will probably have a resurgence. I know a lot of people don't believe him.
Did he start last week or field start?
A field start.
I think he's finally going to get the nod this week, though.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like he's a better game manager, and I think that's what coaches usually look for.
By far, he's a great game manager.
Yeah.
So next after
we got the
Bucks.
Yeah, Texans versus Vikings. Oh, by the way, I'm taking the Buccaneers as well.
Thank you. Houston on fire, well balanced, explosive. C.J. Stroud, just a class act. He's got incredible leadership. You got the coach over there, played forever, and he's got just an incredible environment.
DeMeco Ryans?
Yeah, DeMeco Ryan. He's got just incredible energy in that program right now, in that Titans program. Excuse me, Texans.
Right.
Those guys are just they're itching. I mean, they were right outside the AFC title game last year.
Oh yeah, great team, good quarterback. See, it's all about quarterback play.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: the Vikings surprised big time last week.
Sam Darnold is back.
Oh my gosh, how did they beat the Niners? The Niners,
they were littered with injuries.
I mean, it must have been.
They couldn't get anything going offensively.
Chargers versus Steelers. Now this is kind of like this is going to be a hard one to pick for me.
Harbaugh and Tomlin. That's a good little coaching duel right there.
I always look at what Tomlin does. He does a lot of what the Bengals do. It's like that AFC North. They all know how to slow the clock down and run the clock out. It's the Chiefs and the Chargers. They all have these high-powered offenses, and if you can force them into less opportunities to score, and you can make the most of like a field goal and a touchdown, like you can win those games. That's why I'm always afraid of the Bengals, because them and the Steelers and a couple other teams can just slow it down.
Yeah. Next one we got is the Eagles versus Saints.
Oh, who did you pick?
Oh, I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers.
More offensive weapons in the end of it all. So.
And I think their defense is really pretty good too. So, Eagles versus New Orleans Saints. Okay, did you see what? So the Saints have 6 offensive rushing touchdowns. So I didn't realize, like, it looked
91 points.
Yeah, they're leading the NFL in scoring, but it's that running game. Like, the next closest has 4 touchdowns, and the next closest, like, then everybody's tied at like having 2 touchdowns after that. But yeah, Saints offensive running game is just tearing it up. Alvin Kamara.
He's a phenomenal running back. Always has been, staying healthy all these years. And
what do you think of the Eagles though?
You know, you can't always. They do lose a couple offensive weapons, but you still have the Heisman Trophy guy from Alabama.
Yep, Hurts.
Not so much Hurts, but Smith.
Devontae Smith. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You know, you got the speed demon in him, and they're solid on defense. There's no doubt there, so there's no problem. They're well balanced, and I think it's going to be the Saints' first test. So we might see a lot lower scoring game than they've been putting up these 40s. We might get to the 30s. But I don't know. The Eagles might shut them down.
Eagles are surprising me all over the place. They just have not put up enough.
I'll still say I'll pick the Saints because they have so much weapons on offense and they can do something with it. Just barely, because they might just pull it off.
Yeah.
But so I'll go with the Saints on that one.
Yeah, they got those 2 defensive.
Who dat?
I'm gonna go with. I gotta pick the Saints on this one. I want to pick the Eagles. I want to justify that. I honestly like Hurts a little bit more than I like Carr, but Carr he's the perfect game manager for a great offensive running game. Okay, next, Green Bay Packers versus Tennessee Titans.
It all comes down to Jordan Love.
Yeah,
is he going to be ready? Is he not? We'll see. I mean, I think we're okay with Malik Willis. He did okay last week. He rushed the ball well.
Dude, so someone said the coolest thing. They were like, you know what? The smart thing is is it LaFleur that's the coach? Mm-hmm. So you've got this quarterback that can throw the ball, and then you've got one that can't throw the ball. He's basically like a wildcat quarterback. He can throw the ball, but he's a runner basically. And he was like, just lean into it. You only need to win 3 games. He's going to be back very soon. So lean into that run and just like use Justin Fields the way the Pittsburgh Steelers have been doing it. They've been winning games by letting Justin Fields be Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Let Malik Willis be Malik Willis, and then go back to the normal offense when Love is feeling good.
You know what's what's funny about that is, if you look back in college, Jordan Love wasn't that kind of a person. He was a run heavy quarterback.
Yeah,
and now they developed him as a pocket passer and a pocket quarterback. He's doing a lot better job.
Yeah. All right. God bless you, Ryan. I'm picking the Cardinals, so we'll jump into this real quick. Cardinals versus Lions. Who do you have? I know,
I'm going with the Cards, man.
I am too.
I'm sorry, but they're hot right now.
Well, so they have the 4 rushing touchdowns.
And I think even though it might be in Detroit, They got the weapons.
And Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Jr. Welcome to the NFL.
Starvin Marvin is not so starving. That young man put up, what was it, 2 touchdowns?
Marvelous Marvin.
Marvelous. Yeah. He had 3 he dropped the ball 3 times, but the times that he caught the ball was like 2 touchdowns on 3 or 4 receptions.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a very cool opening. What was that, home opener?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
big crowd too.
Oh man,
the
that
place
was a lot of
deafening
fun.
last week.
So take care, Ryan. We wanted to let you know what we thought about that team. Giants versus Browns. So Giants have disappointed me so many times, and it looks like the Browns defense can win no matter what. They drug Deshaun Watson's body across the goal line. They just threw him over their shoulder. Seriously, he had a terrible game, and they somehow pulled that one out. It was incredible. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. The Cards are looking good. So next up, Bears versus Colts. So this is a 1-point spread. Nobody knows where this game's gonna go.
I'm going with Indy.
Yeah,
I like Richardson. Kid's a great tool in their offense. He's big. He's physical.
Did you see that play last week? Where
he throws that ball up like 65 yards, like threw it up in a moonshot. I think it hit the rafters, and it went over the rafter, through the rafter, and came back down.
Yeah.
It was just like, where'd that ball go? And then all of a sudden, he comes right back down and like right outside the end zone.
So you've got Caleb Williams versus Richardson. Who are you taking?
I'm going with Indy.
Yeah.
I just think Indy's got a little bit more. It's a lot of a new team in Chicago, and trying to build something around Caleb, and it's going to take some time.
Yeah,
chemistry's not quite there yet.
I am going to take the Bears, but I don't know which way that one's going to go. It's a coin flip to me. Carolina Panthers versus Raiders. I've got to say, I'm a Chiefs fan. I hate the Raiders, but I love the Raiders. The Raiders are so good this year.
They're back.
Oh,
They're
man.
back.
Antonio Pierce?
Yes.
That's a
Wildcat.
Yeah.
From Arizona.
Oh, man. And you look at that that whole offensive unit. So the Raiders are a pretty good pass blocking unit. Their run blocking is really good. They're getting the running game. But they kept throwing to Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers. And he was like, no, these are the only two people that are going to
That's the other exciting one to see is Brock Bowers.
Dude, it's like
that tight end is big help. I mean, we're in the NFL now where the tight end has made a big presence again.
Dude.
And I mean, look, Kelsey, you got Brock Bowers at 6'4", 270. Running a 4.6.
Yeah, well, Brock Bowers, I think he's actually he's a small. He's 6'3", he's 230 pounds.
230.
Yeah, so check this out.
But he can fly.
He's a wide receiver with a fullback's body. I keep telling people he's like a fullback wide receiver hybrid. He is so much fun to watch. They handed him the ball and he just drilled a dude. They did, I mean, he's probably my favorite player to watch right now, and I hate saying that because he's a Raider, but man, of all the teams,
don't listen, KC fans.
all the teams that I'm like in the AFC West, I'm cool with. Like, lived in the Bay Area for long enough to know that I like Raider fans and I don't like Niner fans. Anyway,
yeah.
So let's move on
pick.
to. Oh, I picked the Raiders on that one versus Carolina.
Me too.
Yeah, Carolina Panthers.
I got it. Las Vegas for sure.
Baltimore Ravens versus the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys and the Ravens are both the two of the best regular season winners of the last 3 years. Can't ever do anything in the playoffs, of course. Who do you have in this one? I don't know what to do.
It depends on who's
pick the Cowboys.
Who's able to stop the run.
That would be the Cowboys then.
You got Derrick Henry to stop, though. 240-pound back from Alabama.
Yeah, but they can't throw, and the Cowboys can throw.
Yeah, so
I'm going to pick the Cowboys on that one.
It might be a Dallas win there.
And I don't like the Ravens, so it makes it easier. of all the teams that I don't
Me too.
like, that's the Ravens.
Yeah.
Get out of here. 49ers versus LA Rams. Who are you taking on this one?
Not LA. I say, but 49ers are a little bit better.
Talk about a beat up team though. Like LA Rams, like they're down
Until they get healthy. It's hard to pick them.
No, you can't pick them. I don't think you couldn't pick them against, even the Jags or the Commanders, I don't think. So the Niners are going to just smash them is what I'm expecting, even with an injury.
This week we have 2 Monday Night Football games?
Yeah, so I don't really like the way the NFL does this. Yeah, it's stupid. Well, they do 2 Thursday night games or, they do goofy stuff all season long. I just wish they could, limit it down to, Sunday and maybe a Friday night. I don't like Thursday night games. It doesn't matter, though.
It's different.
Okay, so Monday night game, the first Monday night game, Bills versus Jags. Who do you got?
Bills and Jags. I'll go Buffalo.
Yeah, that's
right now.
hard to pick against them because
Jacksonville's so hot and cold. You don't know what team's going to come out every week.
So I was watching their game, and they got so many second chances at taking the lead. I thought they were out of it with 3 minutes left in the game, and that game kept going on and on and on, and the Jags were in it till the very end. I'm going to pick the Jags just for the heck of it. I do think the Bills are going to win, so if you're playing the money, go with the Bills. But personally, I'm going to go with the Jags.
I like Josh Allen and his resurgence of his running game. He's running the ball.
Josh Allen versus Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The defense then versus the quarterback.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Bengals versus Commanders. I'm Bengals all the way. I hate the Bengals.
I'm Cincy all the way too.
I hate them, but I'm not. Joe Burrow's the third best quarterback in the NFL.
He barely beat him last week.
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's anyway.
KC.
Yeah, the Commanders, they are looking better than expected to, but
I think the veteran crew that's on offense is going to be what carries Cincy through the game.
They've got to
win. Commanders are young. And new staff and not new staff, but new quarterback as a rookie Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels. He's done okay for the first 2 weeks, but he's going to get better. Yeah, but he just doesn't have that chemistry again because he's young.
I like him. I think he's kind of a similar quarterback to Lamar Jackson. I think he's a more accurate version of Lamar Jackson, but I think he's the same runner. Sure. So that's kind of the breakdown for the week. Let's pick the Thursday night game also. Dallas Cowboys versus Giants.
Holy cow.
I know.
First one of the season, that's always a battle. Giants, they've got some growing to do. The run game is not
Daniel
really there.
Jones versus Dak Prescott, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Daniel Jones is still trying to find his identity this year. He's still coming off of that ACL.
He's such a slow starter.
It's taken him a while to get going, but I think that Dallas, they just continue to have these weapons to mess around with doing stuff on offense, and they can do it and pick and roll or do stuff that helps them to be balanced. And I don't know. It's just New York's just not quite there yet. Sorry, Steve, if you're watching, my buddy back in Texas, die-hard Giants fan. So making sure that.
It'll be the Cowboys versus Giants for that last. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys.
Yeah, we'll go with the Cowboys on that one for sure. So, and sorry about that, folks. Had a random guy trying to come in to join us on the show. Wasn't a football player, so anyway.
No, he wasn't.
If we get a chance next week, we would like to get a Buena player.
Oh my gosh!
In here.
This doesn't fit.
Those Revolutions are something else, man. Those are some good helmets.
Oh man,
they fit way different.
Yeah,
these days.
These are murder weapons. I remember wearing something like that. I've got a giant skull. I've got a size 8. You probably are very similar. And when they used to put helmets on me, they were like, okay, well, we've got the big kid helmets, and then we've got the wide receiver helmets. And it was always
Oh.
like, I got a melon. They put me
Big
with
old
all the
waterhead.
Oh, yeah.
As they used to say. So, if after the Pueblo game next week, we're going to try and have some of the players on with us that morning. So keep an eye out for us.
If you got some kids you want to come on to the show, we've got all
right here
of this
next to
area
Little
right
Caesars.
Yeah.
Come on in and have some fun.
Oh, we're gonna have a pizza. Yeah, buy us a pizza someday. We want pizza. We'll have a pizza. Buy
Pizza
us a
party.
Pizza thing. Yeah,
We're gonna have a little pizza party with these players and
oh man,
have a little fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Coach Young.
Of course,
Thank you to
anytime.
Todd Ryan. Thank you to Cool FM and Tom, the owner, and all the people that are in charge. And thank you to all the sponsors. We would love to get a sponsor for this show. And, if you're looking to put your name on something, you want us to say your name over and over, man, I'd love to do it.
Please do. Come out and join us. We'll have a lot of fun. And look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Friday night recap on the field with Jon and Jarad. We'll see you at Pueblo High School. We'll be live that evening. If you want to make the trip up to Pueblo High School, come on out and support the Colts on the road. If not, we'll be tuning in live about 7 o'clock. So look forward to seeing us then. Have a great rest of your weekend, and go Colts.
Go Colts.